I'm Danny Daniels, and today is September the 8th, 1978, and I'm sitting with the famous half of the Nicholas brothers, Fayard Nicholas. And Fayard has been kind enough to join us today and talk about his background in dancing and his incredible theater background. And Fayard, thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Yes.
I would like you to, first of all, give us some of the background of your dancing experience, where you learned how to dance. Where are you from in the first place?
Well, we're originally from New York City.
Let me just, excuse me, I said the famous half of the Nicholas brothers, and I want the viewers, if they're not familiar with your first names, you're Fayard and your brother's name is Harold.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
And where are you both from now?
From New York City.
New York City.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
You were born in New York?
Yes, we were. Mm-hmm.
And you got your dance training where? In a dance studio, or did you pick it up? Or?
Now, let me tell you how it started. See, my mother and father, they were in show business.
Oh, I see. I didn't know
Mother
that.
played piano, and my father played drums.
Mm-hmm.
And this was in Philadelphia. They were at a theater called the Standard Theater there on South Street. And they had this orchestra, and they called it the Nicholas Collegians. And they played for stars like Buck and Bubbles.
Oh,
you remember Buck and Bubbles?
John Bubbles.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Adlai Hall, and many stars at the theater. And I was going to school at the time, see. And every day after school, I would go to the theater.
Spent more time in the theater than you did at school.
Right.
Sure.
And I tried to get right up on a front seat where my father was playing drums, because I liked that, and I could just swing, you know. I swing so much, I broke the seat. And so I was watching the performers on stage. And I said, my, I'd like to be up there doing something like that. So just by watching, I taught myself how to dance.
And you just, you observed the dancers? You
yeah.
had Buck and Bubbles. What other dancers? Can you remember who the other
oh, let me
were?
see. It was Willie Bryant.
Willie Bryant?
Yes, he danced in those days. That was...
This was in Philadelphia now?
In Philadelphia, at the Standard Theater. There was Pete, Peaches, and Duke.
Again?
Pete, Peaches, and Duke. It was a trio.
Peaches and Duke.
It was a trio of dancers. And there were many dancers.
Two guys and a girl.
Yeah. I can't remember all the names, because it's just a long time ago.
And they used to come and play how an engagement would last, what, a week or something like that?
Yes, about a week.
And so you'd watch them?
Yeah, and I'd watch them.
And imitate what they did?
And imitate them, and I would do all the Russian steps, you know, the over the top and the trenches, and the crossover steps, and that time step.
And the time step.
That was the last step I learned.
Is that right?
I couldn't do it.
That's usually the first step,
I couldn't do that step at all. And I would try. I'd go home and try it. And I couldn't do it. And after I learned it, I never used it.
And you never really, you never studied, though. You never studied, though.
Never studied dancing.
Isn't that incredible?
Taught myself, and I taught my brother, and also my sister. And at one time, we had a trio together. And we called ourselves the Nicholas Kids. And my sister, she couldn't keep the late hours. So we told her to go on school and get her education. We'll put her through school and let us
And then
take
you
over.
guys stayed together.
And so we stayed together.
Well, you know, it's interesting because Hal Leroy said that he learned the same way. He never studied either. He just went to the vaudeville houses and watched the dancers from one week to the next, and went home and practiced things that he saw.
That's what I did.
And just picked it up.
Just in the bathroom, in the living room, in the bedroom, I was practicing
Dancing
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you this. One morning, when my mother and father were coming from the theater to our apartment, we were still up. And they came into the living room and they saw all the lights on and said, "What are you boys doing up? You know, you have school tomorrow." So I said, "Mother and Dad, sit down. We want to show you something." See, now they didn't know we were rehearsing to getting all these routines together. So then we danced for them, and they watched. And they looked at each other and said, "Hey, we got something here." So they gave up their orchestra to manage us.
Is that right?
And that's how it first started.
How far back now? What year are you talking about?
That was in, I'm going to tell my age now. That was in 1930.
In 30. Was that was still in Philadelphia? They were still playing in the theater there. Now, when did you move to New York?
Oh, well, they started managing us, and we played all the theaters in Philadelphia. all the Warner Brothers theaters. And there was the Pearl Theater, and the Lincoln Theater, and the Standard Theater.
Now they were playing vaudeville then, between were there still the movies, or was it just 4 a day or vaudeville, or how was there 2 a day?
That was the motion picture in between.
Motion picture and then the vaudeville show.
Then the vaudeville
like 4 a day, wasn't it something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
And so you played the theaters in Philly, and then what caused you to move to New York?
We were at the Pearl Theater at this particular time, and New York was hearing so much about the Nicholas kids. That was because we were sensational in those days.
And to this day, and to this day.
Thank you. And we were just little boys. See, now the manager of the Lafayette Theater in New York came to the Pearl Theater because he found out that we were there, and he wanted to see these Nicholas kids. Everybody's talking about these Nicholas kids. So he saw us, and he came backstage, and he talked to my father, and they got together with business, and so brother and I, we don't know anything about business. We just want to get on that stage and perform, you know. And so in about a couple of weeks, we opened at the Lafayette Theater in New York, and we broke it up.
Where was the Lafayette Theater?
It was on, it's still on 7th Avenue.
7th Avenue.
And there's a tree right across the street, right in the middle of the street, we say, called the Tree of Hope. They named that the Tree of Hope.
7th Avenue, what cross street? Where? Because I'm trying to place it.
Oh, you mean, well, it was near 125th Street.
In Harlem.
In Harlem, yes. And this tree, all the entertainers would touch this tree for good luck. Maybe I'll get a job next week.
Maybe I'll be working. Yeah.
And sometimes it worked.
And so you came to New York, and then that was it. The ball was rolling then, huh?
Yeah, the ball was rolling, and Bill Robinson, he saw us, and he fell in love with us. Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't wonder. Now, let me ask you something. There was a Hoofers Club in Harlem around that time.
Yeah, there was a Hoofers Club in Harlem.
Did you have anything to do with that?
No. I think it was down in the basement of the Lafayette Theater.
Oh, really? In the Lafayette? Is that a fact? But you were you too young to be part of that at that time? Because I know it was a big organization.
Yes, we
and
were too young.
Hal Leroy mentioned that Bill Robinson took him to the Hoofers Club, and he had to audition to become a member there.
Right.
And it was probably a little before your time, because I think you're probably a little younger.
Yes. Oh, by the way, let me tell you this. My father, he helped me out a great deal with my work. Yeah. He couldn't dance, but he could tell me what to do. You know? So he was watching me one day, and he says, say, I like the way you use your hands. See, do more of that. And he says, use your whole body, and say, never look at your feet. And he knew all this.
Well, he was very sharp.
Oh, he was sharp, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he said, what you're doing is fine. But he said, do your own thing. Don't do what the others are doing. He says, create your own steps. I say, okay, Dad. It's going to be hard work, but I'll do it. And that's when I started creating my own style.
And you got a good style with your arms and your hands.
Arms and the hands and the feet, the whole body.
You worked with your brother a lot?
Oh, yes.
To get all the style?
To get all that together, you know. And our dancing is like a combination of many dances. Yeah.
It's got a definite style of its own.
And, you know, there's a little ballet in it.
And then you created all of the sensational tricks that you did. The jumps off of these enormous heights into splits. I mean, I don't know how you survived all of that. It was just an incredible.
Oh, those were some crazy things. Oh, brother, I don't know how we survived.
I remember seeing you some pictures. You came flying over somebody's head and into a split. I couldn't believe it.
You know the film Orchestra-Wise that we did with Glenn Miller?
Yes.
This is the one where we run up the wall.
Yes, yes, right.
Walk right up the wall, do a backflip into a split.
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you who thought of, you know Nick Castle?
Yes,
remember Nick
I knew Nick very well, yes.
He thought of that idea.
Is that a fact?
And he asked us, he said, fellas, I got a great idea. I want you to walk up the wall, do a backflip into a split. And I said, are you crazy? You want me to break my neck? I said, oh, no, I can't do that. Now, what's the matter? I said, let me see you do it. He said, no, I can't do it, but I know you can. So it was a challenge, so we tried it. Rehearsals with ropes around our waists and going up the wall. And until we got it just right. And come the day to take the picture, boom, one shot.
I was going to ask you, one take and that was
One
it,
take,
huh?
that was it.
And you've never done it since?
Never done it since. I don't want to do it again.
You want to see it, you have to play the film, huh?
No, I don't want to do it. It hurts.
Oh, man. Well, you were always doing, I mean, you guys did 4 shows a day, because I remember seeing you at the Capitol or someplace like that, and you were always doing those tremendous, and used to do that over and over again.
Not at the Paramount in New York City. We were there doing the holidays, Christmas and New Year's. We were doing 8 shows a day with Tommy Dawson.
8 shows a day.
And this was when Frank Sinatra was his vocalist. 8 shows every day.
Incredible.
Getting there like 9 o'clock in the morning to do our.
Well, you just dry off and you've got to go back
just dry
up
off
again,
and
right?
the motion picture maybe about an hour and 10 minutes. Boom, rest a little bit, back on again.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, there was something about working in front of an audience that that if we had more of that today, we'd have better performers too. I mean, there's just no substitute for that. To have a live audience there,
Right.
The pressure of being out there and having an audience look at you, knowing you've got to.
I didn't mind those 8 shows because
of course
that
not.
audience, it was so great. Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
But we worked. Oh, we worked, and that kept us thin. Now today, if they ask me to do 2 shows, I say, what? 2 shows?
I know. I just
Yes,
worked with.
give me one.
I just worked with Gene Kelly, and he insisted 1 show a night.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, and when you were studying the performers that you were observing, and you had John Bubbles and people of that,
like Bill Robinson
and Bill Robinson. Now, did you learn much from Bill? Did he teach you anything? Did you?
Oh, when we were in the Cotton Club uptown.
What year was that?
That was in 1932.
32.
Yeah, 1932. And we stayed in the Cotton Club 2 years straight without
Did you?
moving, right there. And
who were the orchestra? Who were the headliners as well as yourself?
Duke Ellington and
Duke
his
Ellington
orchestra.
and his
There's
orchestra?
Cap Calloway and his orchestra. There's Jimmy Lunchford and his orchestra. And
You stayed through. I mean, they came and went. Did you stay there?
Yeah, but we stayed. So, yeah. And you know, that's funny because we were so young in those days, and these 2 little guys working in a nightclub.
Yeah.
That until 5 o'clock in the morning.
You were sensational. They didn't want to let you go. You obviously drew an audience, and
the club was run by what you call it, the mafia.
Oh, really?
Or whatever, gangsters or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they had this pool.
They're still around today, apparently.
Yeah, right. So if they'd come out and say, these kids are too young, you see. Oh, no, they're not.
Yeah,
so they would back off, see. But that's funny.
They were able to do it.
Yeah, when at that age, tender age, they took the Cotton Club show to the Paramount Theater downtown with Duke Ellington and Ethel Waters. She was also. This is when she first sang Stormy Weather.
Yeah, Ethel Waters,
Yeah.
the great Ethel Waters.
So the first show, we were out there doing our thing, breaking up the show. And after the show is over, we'd go to our dressing room. And all of a sudden, here comes a lady. And she says, where are your parents? Mother comes and father. Say, these kids, they're too young to work here. I'm sorry, they cannot work here. It's some kind of guarantee society.
Society
like
of the Prevention of Cruelty to Children or something.
Right. Now, that's
Same
so
ones that
funny.
handle prevention of animals. Yeah.
We couldn't work downtown at the Paramount Theater, which was in the day.
But they let you work all night long at the Cotton Club.
All night at the Cotton Club.
Yeah, that kind of logic still exists, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I happen to think that it's a good idea to let kids work, and I think the anti-child laws have done a lot to prevent initiative with youngsters, even though I know they were put into use for a good purpose at the beginning, because they used to have kids in the field and working in sewing machine factories and so on. But you learn something when you're a child that you just cannot learn when you get older, particularly in the creative arts, in the dance field. When you learn to dance when you're a kid, you get it into your body.
Yes.
And if you try to do that when you're older, it's just not going to happen. It just won't happen. And I see it myself a lot now because when I teach and I.
Well, I don't try to do any of those wild things we did in the movies anymore.
Well, you did enough of them. And
maybe I can if I get enough money.
oh, well,
Yeah.
money talks, huh?
Money talks. Yeah, I'll open up.
Well, Fayard, did you learn any particular things from the early days of watching? Did you learn wings and that sort of thing? Like, can you recall?
Yes,
I want to try to set the record as to how we came by all of these steps, because nobody really knows how they started.
I don't know.
And did you have taps on your shoes at the beginning?
Yes.
From the very first, you had taps on your shoes.
Yeah, we had taps.
That was 1930 you're talking about now, right?
1930, right? We had taps. But you know, I'd rather dance without taps. It sounds better to me.
Yeah. I know that I like to dance in softer, even a kind of a clog shoe is kind of fun to dance.
But see, we have to use the taps because the orchestra would drown us out.
That's right.
See?
That's right.
But say if just piano, real soft, and the drummer playing on the snare drum with the vibration, it sounds good without taps.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Did you work alone, or did you always work with your brother?
I worked alone, but not professionally. I used to do shows in the schools where I went to.
I see.
And maybe a benefit or something like that. But
some of you have played parts in motion pictures alone, I think. Haven't you?
Oh, I did a motion picture along with my brother in 1969 called The Liberation of L.B. Jones.
Yes.
And Lee J. Cobb was in that, and Lola Falana, Lee Majors.
Yes.
And it was directed by William Wyler. Yeah. Incidentally, that was the last film that he produced and directed.
Wyler?
Yeah,
really?
That was his last film. And my brother did a film by himself called Uptown Saturday Night.
I saw that one.
Did you see that
with
Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby?
Yes. That's what I had in mind when I asked you if you worked alone, because I knew that I had seen either you or your brother do, and it was a straight acting part. It was no dancing.
No dancing, just acting.
And the William Wyler was a straight acting thing too?
Yes, straight acting. Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, I would like to ask you to do a little hoofing for us, and I know that it's an imposition to ask you, but I'm not going to ask you to do any of your big splits or anything, because I'm going to try and get those and put them in.
Thank you.
I'll try to get film clips of those, and maybe we can show them in this, and I'll edit them in this. In this
that'll make me happy.
Okay.
You're right.
So should we go over to the dance floor and let's
see.
Put a little iron on the floor there. Okay, Fayard, between the time that we were sitting down and we're over here, we talked a bit about your tremendous exploits throughout the United States and the world, dancing with your brother. Would you just give us a little bit of the background of the places that you danced? Because it's an incredible array of the best of the show business world. You danced in Vaudeville, where now?
All over the USA.
In every city?
Every city, yes.
And tell us about the places that you danced.
Like in the USA?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in Chicago we danced at the Chicago Theater.
Chicago Theater.
And also the Shapery in Chicago.
Nightclub.
Nightclub. The College Inn in Chicago. The Oriental Theater in Chicago. And
this is through the years now. You just you would go back and play these.
Yeah, go back and play. I was just thinking of Chicago because I had mentioned that and it was on my mind.
He just motioned to us to close in, and I'll
swing that last chorus.
Closer to Fayard. Okay, because he talks softer than I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you also played Europe. Tell us about the places you danced in Europe.
Oh my goodness. At the London Palladium.
Palladium
in London. We did a Royal Command performance.
A command performance
for the King of England.
King of England. What year was that?
That was in 1948.
48.
Yes.
And other places in Europe. I know you danced in Germany and
Germany, Italy, France, Sweden,
All over the
Denmark, all over the world.
And you told me before that you have danced, that you have done every kind of show business except one. What was that exception?
Opera.
Opera. And you never know, you know.
No,
It's right around the corner.
You know, it's because of our versatility.
Uh-huh.
You see, because we sing, and we are actors. We play drums.
You're musicians?
Musicians. And
How did you decide to be dancers when you could do all of that stuff? You just liked it?
We just liked it, you know, because we like to move.
Well, let me...
And sometimes we do a little jam session. I'll play the drums for my brother to do a little tapping, and he'll play for me to do a little tapping.
You both drum,
So we both drum. You see?
You play piano?
And,
Do you play any other instrument?
I play guitar.
Guitar?
Guitar, And you see, when I told you about doing everything in show business except opera, because we've made records, we've been on the radio, and we would sing and talk on the radio, and naturally do a
And
little
dance,
tapping. And on the records, we do that, sing and tap on the records. And we've done circus. And
You played circuses?
Oh, yeah, we did that. It's like I told you, everything. We did,
You
we've
weren't
done-
kidding,
yeah,
huh?
Oh, I wasn't kidding. You know what they do? They would have a stage for us, something like this, see? And put it right there in the center of the ring. And we get out there and do our thing.
And I bet it was very successful.
Oh yeah, they love those.
Well, now let's get to the tap dancing now. You said that the last thing you learned how to do when you were learning the tap was a time step. Let me see the time step that you learned.
Well, you see,
The regular standard time step.
Yeah, this is the first one I learned.
Break
Yeah,
there.
yeah, how about that break?
Do the break again, would you?
Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now did you do the wing time step? You do that one?
Yeah, I did that one too.
Okay.
There it is again.
What about traveling time step? Did you do any traveling time steps?
Let me see. Oh, there's one. Let me see. Is that one go?
The one I know is this.
Let me see. Ah, yeah.
You know that one?
Ah, yeah, yes.
And then there's another one that Kelly taught me, as a matter of fact.
What's that?
Gene.
You know this one? Oh, yeah, let me go over. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now-
And let's see. That's another one I used to do. Oh, what's this?
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah.
Like that?
That's a great one. Yeah.
And then you also add a little more to it. Can you hear me out there? Yeah.
If I pull the mic away from him, just yell to me to put it back in, would you?
All right, here we go. Watch. See that?
Yeah, and you added a little flap to it. Now, keep going. Do you have any more variations on that?
On that? Oh, yeah. Oh, let me see. There was one, I think we were...
Yeah, yeah. I've done it. I've done
You
it
done
straight,
that?
like this. But yeah, you're crossing.
I'm just putting it in the back.
Right. And I know you work a lot with your heels into the ground. You do a lot of riffs and those sort of things.
And on the toes as well.
What about wings? Did you pick up any wings along your?
Yes.
Because I've seen you do them. I know you.
Yeah, that's one time.
Right.
One like that?
Just straight. With over the
like that,
tops.
yeah. Oh, the over the tops?
Yeah.
Huh?
There it is. That's
That one? Yeah.
that's the standard one. Yeah. That's great.
And then we pull the pinches.
And trenches. Right.
Jazz?
With the old pullback break.
Yes.
Now, what about these things? Did you ever do those just
No.
straight pullbacks?
No, I didn't do those.
Excuse me.
But I think I can do it.
I think, Fayard, if you decided to do anything, you could do it. You know. I'm
The
just.
other one. that one too.
Double wings, right. I'm just curious to know, and I'd like, just for the record, to know what your background was that you based all of the incredible stuff that you did on, so that did you when you picked up wings, nobody taught that to you. You picked those up.
I just picked it up.
And how about this one? You know that one? That's,
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
called,
something like the break I do.
yeah, and it's this
You
is
know?
called. Right, now this is called. You know what
Now,
that's called?
What is that?
It's a maxi Ford. That step is called a maxi Ford. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Isn't that funny?
You
a
know
man
that's-
by the name of Maxie Ford created that step, so it's given his name.
Do you know that I don't count? I just listen to that music.
Is that
and
right?
I just go. I don't know the name of my steps. I just do them.
That's great. That's
and
great.
see, the type of counting that I do is I sing the step. You know, boom.
You hear the rhythms in
Yes,
your head and your
yes,
feet
yes,
do them. Yeah. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like,
Right?
like a drummer. The rhythms go in
Right.
your head and your feet do them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, of course, that's the epitome of tap dancing is when you can hear the rhythms in your head and the body just does them. You
Right,
know?
yes.
Yeah.
And that's the way I teach tap dancing.
Do you?
I teach all my students
Uh-huh.
that way. Oh, here's a little thing I want to take. You know, those motion pictures, all those motion pictures.
Are you okay
That-
with the mic in there? Is he getting enough volume?
Yeah,
Thank you.
all those motion pictures that I've made, it has given us the opportunity to travel all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
That when we get to these countries, they know us already.
Oh, sure.
And with open arms.
Yeah.
And where we're working in a nightclub, or doing television, or in the theater or a movie, some of the young kids would come backstage to see us.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, oh, we're so happy to meet you, you Nicholas brothers, because you gave us inspiration to dance.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that wonderful? Say, if it hadn't been for you, we would never dance.
Yeah, you can
If
reach
they
so
just
many,
watch those movies.
Yeah, you can reach so
Isn't-
many with
Can't
us.
you
with
reach
that-
them?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was...
That's wonderful.
Made me
That's
feel
a
so
thrill.
good.
Sure,
Yeah, that was a
it's thrill.
thrill.
Mhm. Well, how about giving us a little of some improvisation? And we've got Harper McKay standing ready over there at the old keyboard. And you want to sitting? Yeah. Well,
Do you know? It is hot up here.
I know these lights.
All these lights are killing me.
Yeah, whatever happened to the cool lights?
What happened?
Yeah, they've got, this is, I remember back in 1948 when I was first doing television, these are the kind of lights they had, so I guess
They still got them.
they're going back to them. Either they still got them or they're going back to them. Yeah, you want to just step out and just wipe your brow off a bit, and I'll do a little tap step while you're,
all right.
I'll fill in for you.
Good.
Okay. Oh, here's one we forgot to discuss. The shim sham. And go. Yeah. Yeah. And that's all improvised.
Yeah.
Just all on the spur of the moment, as the whim and the mood hits you. And that's what's
what-
great about tapping. It's like a fine musician picking up an instrument and just going.
You know, it's a fun dance.
I've been doing it since I've been this
it's a
high, and I
happy-
still enjoy it.
happy
Oh,
dancing.
it's great.
And you have to love it.
Oh yes. Yeah.
You do it. And I do. And you do too, don't
And
you?
we all do.
We all love
Yeah,
it.
Yeah. Fayard,
Yes.
Is there anything else yeah, besides that, anybody want to throw some questions at Fayard? He's really kind of unraveled himself here, and I do appreciate it. And I want to thank the National Endowment for the Arts for funding this series that we're doing on tap dancing. And with me today, with great appreciation from myself for the cooperation of Fayard Nicholas. Of the famous Nicholas brothers, and Fayard,
Yes.
many thanks, and I'm sure the people that watch this for generations to come will thank you.
Well, don't they want to ask some questions? Huh? Would you like to?
I just want to know if you've taken any lessons of any kind besides dancing. What about vocal lessons or acting lessons,
No.
comedy lessons?
No.
He picked everything up
I
as
picked
he went
everything.
along.
I picked it all up.
He was in
I-
show business from the time he was a little
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
because his parents were in show business.
And then
Now-
many people are surprised
Well, before
because I've never had any lessons of any kind.
we cut off here, we have more time on this tape. Are we okay?
Yeah.
Let me just ask you about how you got into the big tricks that you did, those split jumps. What brought you into doing that with you and your brother?
Well, we started thinking of these weird ideas. See, we would just split and come up.
This was when you were kids,
When we were kids.
way back
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
were first
we were
starting
kids,
in this
yeah,
act,
just
huh?
getting- And we say, maybe we can add something to this. Maybe we could jump off of the table or something like that. That might be exciting. And you see, some dancers, when they do this, they hurt themselves. But you see, when we jump off the table or whatever it may be, we hit our feet first, and then slide into it. See,
So you break the fall with- yeah.
When we hit our feet, we break the fall.
You break the fall, and then you slide
and
into
then
the
you
split.
slide up. Yeah, go right into split.
Yeah.
And then come up.
But that requires a tremendous muscle control in the inside of the
Oh.
legs, and
That's true.
Have you ever pulled yourself? Have you ever had a serious muscle injury doing those tricks?
Not really.
I find
I
that
pulled.
incredible because
But let me tell you, once I pulled a ligament right here, and that was painful.
doing that split jump.
Doing one of those splits. It was my fault because I didn't warm up
Ah,
before I went on stage.
Yeah.
You know. And the doctor came and he taped me up real tight, and I could go on and do the next performance.
and you just went on again.
It just went on again,
Yeah.
like nothing had happened.
Nobody knew it
Nobody knew.
except you. Huh?
And so that's the only real injury that I had, you see. And see, like, there are no marks on my legs. Anyway.
Well, you're in incredible shape too for a guy that's been dancing and doing those fantastic stunts all your life. And you're nice and thin.
How about that?
You look great. You look just great. And I
Thank
know
you.
you've been performing in Las Vegas with
Yes,
Sammy Davis.
With Sammy Davis Jr.
And you're going back again. You tell me that you might go back.
We may go back again with Red Fox.
Red Fox. So this will probably be sent to the library, this particular tape,
Oh, it will?
within the next,
May
the
I
next
see
couple
it?
months. Oh, you sure can. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to see
oh,
it.
We'll arrange that.
See my mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, because while I was dancing, I was thinking that my brother was there.
Oh, really? You're so used to
I'm
having that other
always-
body beside
I'm
you, huh?
always looking to see if he's there. But he was not there.
On your own.
And
yeah.
I was all on my own.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I made a few mistakes.
Oh, yeah? Well, you were great. You want to do any more? Do you want to do any more hoofing? Have you had enough?
Oh, I can do a little more.
Oh, great. Okay.
Why not?
Give us a tempo. What tempo do you want?
About the same tempo.
Okay.
Be quiet. Tell him about it. Ingredients.
so much. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.